Hi everybody, welcome to the recording for week 4, and I'm doing this in a different program than the regular uh, program that we use for the Class Connects. So not a big issue, it's just that I don't start off with the regular opening screen. But this is for week 4. And before we jump into that, a couple things I want to show you. So I'm going to go to the Course Home area. And of course, when I click Course Home, that actually gives me to the announcements. So these are the announcements. This is the Course Home area over here. So in the announcements, some things to think about. First of all, help for templates, reference docs, etc. I'm going to start listing things in here. For instance, this was week 3, the Webmaster Roles website assignment. I've created a template for you to use that will help you do that work. And then I have the hexadecimal color codes. I'm just going to click that open so you can see these color codes you can use to put on web pages. So just to make life a little bit easier for you, I've included these things on ready reference for you. Now this Webmaster Roles website assignment, that's on week 3. So I'm going to go down here to week 3. And the Webmaster Roles website assignment, I just clicked on it. It was this one. And what they have you do is they have you do this work on your own from the very beginning. And it is really challenging. So I've changed this up. What I've done is I've given you, well, let me go back to the announcements. What I've done for that week 3 assignment is I've given you this template right here, and what you'll do with this, the directions are in the recordings. I have a recording to do this work. But what you do here is you go to View, Source, and my computer won't let me view the source on these pages. I'm not sure why it's not doing that. Oh, there it is. Okay. You view the source, then you say Edit, select all, then you copy and paste that into Notepad, and then you do the work. So I've created this for you to make it a lot easier. In order to know how to do that work, you need to make sure when you go to week 3 that you watch this recording, this demonstration recording. I also have a demonstration recording for invitation assignment. But this is week 3. Some students asked for clarification on this, so I hope this recording is going to help you. So again, when you watch this recording, it's going to tell you to use that template document that I created up there that I have for you. So that's one announcement that I needed to make. Another announcement that I needed to make is that in week 4, in sections 4 and 5, I've taken out some of the assignments. For instance, you can see this one called Color Website Assignment has an asterisk next to it. That you cannot see that. And a table formatting, you can't see those. But I just want to tell you that I've taken those out of the work for now. We're going to do those when we get into the using NVU. So now we're ready to jump into week 4. That's all the announcements I have. So week 4, if we look at this, in week 4, said we skipped some of the work. Week 4 is fairly short, so you watch this recording that you're doing now, do the write-up, of course. Then you go through this section, and there's a code identification assignment that you'll do. And then you look at section 5, wrap up section 5, and then you do the unit quiz. So there's not a lot of assignments, just this one assignment that you'll do and the unit quiz that you'll do. So this will be your opportunity to catch up some old work. So I'm going to get out of that and go ahead and jump right into section 4. Here we go. Now section 4, we're going to start talking about graphics. And of course, before we do any of this, always want to look at the Class Connect write-up, don't we? So here's the Class Connect write-up. And the first question, what is an important thing to remember when using graphics on a web page? And that's what section 4 starts talking about, is graphics. And you have to use them responsibly, because graphics can be used for communication for your website. and they can really add to the viewer's experience. The thing that you need to keep in mind: does it contribute to the message I'm trying to get across? That's what you need to do. That's the most important thing to ask yourself when you put graphics on a website. Does it contribute to the message I'm trying to get across? If it does, then use it. If it doesn't contribute to the message, then leave it out. Also, graphics can slow a web page down, so that might be another reason not to have graphics. Okay, the second Class Connect write-up question has to do with how to make websites more accessible for visually impaired people. And there's a tag called an alt tag. And what the alt tag does is it gives, right here, it gives a description of the image. And you've seen it on web pages where you put your mouse on a picture, and then you can see the words come up and they say what that image is. That's called a mouse over, and that's the alt tag. So an alt tag gives a description of what the image is. So if I go back to the Class Connect write-up, the first question: what is an important thing to remember using graphics? We talked about that. What does the alt tag do? Alt tag gives a word description of what the image is. A description in words of what the image is. Okay, what two things must you keep? Oh, that should be keep in mind. I need to get that fixed. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and fix that now while you're watching, just to show you how to do these things. To keep in mind. There we go. So I'll save it. Back to the course. Okay, back there we are. See that? What two things must you keep in mind when using images on a site? Section 4. So now we're talking about using images, and as you know, I think we've had it before, GIF are used for certain things, and then JPEG are used for photographs generally. So .jpg, not JPEG. .jpg is the best thing to use. .jpg. Now, image size, that's an issue, because if files are too large, both in physical size and resolution too big, they take a long time to open. So the two things to keep in mind when using images is the physical size of your graphic, meaning is it 2 inches by 2 inches, 4 inches by 4 inches? Will it take up the whole screen? So you have to keep that in mind, and you have to keep in mind the image resolution, which is the dots per inch. So you keep those two things in mind when putting graphics on your screen, on your web page. 72 dots per inch is generally what you want to use for web pages, because then the pages will load quickly. And of course, as you know, if you want to not put the main big picture on your screen, but put a link to the big picture from a smaller picture, the smaller picture is called a thumbnail, because it's like the size of a thumbnail, right? Then you click on that, and that's a clickable graphic that then opens up the bigger one. You'll do that later on towards the culminating activity in this course. So those are the two things to keep in mind on graphics. Okay, back to the Class Connect write-up. So we talked about two things to keep in mind using graphics. This one, the complete code to add an image called baseball.jpg that might be in a folder called My Page Images. So it's in a folder called My Page Images, and the image is called baseball.jpg. So what is the coding to do that? Well, here's some interesting information about coding. And whenever you put a graphic on a page, you always use the word SRC. That means source. And that says where the image is located. Most times when students are having trouble on web pages and their pictures are not showing up, it's because the image source is not accurate. And here's how the alt tag is used. And then you can even align it. So you can align the image, make it centered, left, top, bottom, whatever. So let's look at these things down here. This one puts an image of a soccer ball that is sitting in a folder called Images. And the alt is soccer ball. So if I put my mouse, well actually see that I put my mouse over it and I see the word soccer ball. Put my mouse over here. Soccer ball, soccer ball. So that's how that alt tag shows up. So this is the coding that would put the soccer ball on the screen, and that soccer ball happens to be in a folder called images. Now here's coding that would center the soccer ball on your page left to right and put a border around it, a 5-pixel border. And then this one puts a soccer ball on the screen but makes it bigger. Makes a soccer ball 135 pixels by 135 pixels, top to bottom, left to right. That would be to resize right within your screen. So you can see the 3 different ways to put images on. This one is going to help you with the Class Connect write-up question. Because again, this is a soccer ball image that is in a folder called Images. This is the whole coding you would use. Now if I go back to the Class Connect write-up question, I'm switching this up a little bit. The image you're going to put in is called baseball.jpg, and it's in a folder called My Page Images. So you just can't copy and paste the stuff from that page we just looked at, but you need to alter it a little bit. So I hope you see that. Okay, number 5. What is one technique used for stylish placement of web page components? So that's putting images on a page. Now we start using tables. And you've seen many web pages, and they have things in all different places, and they're really organized and look nice. That's what this statement says. You look at the internet, you see beautiful web pages, things placed all over the page with stylish layouts. Well, the way they do that is usually with tables. So they make tables, and then they put things in different places, different cells in the table. So the answer to that Class Connect write-up question, to make stylish web pages, generally, you use tables to arrange all of your information. So you can see right here, this is a table. This table has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 cells, right? And it's a certain width. So you look at it right here, 4 rows, 3 columns, and then all of the cells. And the cells contain a certain bit of information. So tables can help you really arrange your websites looking very nicely. And tables need 3 tags to create them. So if we look right here, first tag tells the HTML coding that you're making a table. The second tag marks the beginning of a row, so that says there's going to be a row here. And then the third tag, this is going to put information in the first cell that the browser finds underneath this table command. Now if we wanted to, so this right here, this coding right here, that would make a 1-cell table. If we wanted to have 2 cells, we would put this TD, another TD command right under this one, because the browser says, hey, I'm going to make a table. I'm going to start the table right here on the rows, and I'm going to put this cell in, and if we had another one down here or below, we'd put that cell in. So that's how it makes this. You don't have to tell it how many rows and columns. What tells it how many rows and columns are these items, the TR and the TD. So if you look down below here, here's some sample coding. You can see that this is 6 cells, right? It has 3 rows. So if we look at it, here's it's just the title for it, but here's how you make the table right here. There's to make the table. And of course, once you make it, down below here, you have to end it. And everything else happens in between. So let's look at the first row. This says make a row. Right there, TR. It says make a row, please. So we make a row. And then this says put the word C in the first cell. Put the word how in the second cell. And then stop that row. See where that row is stopped? Then it says make a second row. Put the word it in the first cell. Put the word works in the second cell of the second row. Stop the row. Then make a row. Put the word cool. Put the word right. Stop the row. Stop the table. So you can see how easily it is to make a table. So I encourage you, you can highlight all of this, copy and paste that into a notepad, save it. as a .html file, and then view it, see what that looks like. And actually I'll show you how to do that. So I'm going to right click, copy, then I'll go, oh shoot, I can't, oh, let's see if I can, yeah, there's Notepad, paste, then I'm going to do File, Save As, and I'm going to save it in this folder I've been using a little bit. And what I want to do when I save it, I'm just going to call it prac table, and I need to do .html and put all files. So I'm calling it an HTML file. See that? Then I'll hit save. And now I'm going to go up here. I'm going to go open it. So File, Open. File, Open. I'm going to browse to find that. I know it was on my, whoop, darn it, there it was. Practice table, open, open. And here's this practice table. So you can see how that works. Then if I look at, well, I won't view this code because we know what that code is. That code is right here, what we had in that file we created. Now mine looks different from hers because from one of the course, mine looks different because she actually typed this stuff in red, the person that made it. This really wasn't the HTML code that made this box. So whoever made this just put the things in blue and red just so you can see where they go, where they are over here. But I would have to go in and put the color codes and things like that. But you can see how I just grabbed this coding and I put it in. So again, to do tables, you have these 3 commands you need to use. Okay. Go to the next page and back to the Class Connect write-up. So one technique for stylish placement, that's tables. List and describe the 3 tags involved in making a table. We just looked at that, didn't we? Okay, the color website assignment. Again, you're not doing this. We're going to revisit this in towards the end with NVU, but we have an alternative. We have an alternative assignment using this web page called Colors web page, and that alternative assignment is right here called HTML code identification. So I'm going to click on that, and what you're going to do here, you're going to use this web page called Greener Than Green. I'll click on it to show it to you. So see this web page? So you're going to use that web page and examine the coding. So you're going to go to the page, then choose View Source to see the code. Once you view the source, then you hit Edit, select All, then copy and paste it into Notepad. So you'll copy and paste the code from the Greener Than Green web page into Notepad. Then once it's in Notepad, arrange the coding so it's easier to read. So I guess I would need to show you this. So View, Source, and mine doesn't show. I have to. There's the source. So then I'll do Edit, select All, Edit. Oh wait, that's not giving me the right code. That's embedding it in the web page. So I'm going to have to do something a little bit different. On this link, I'm going to have to make that link a little bit different. So I'll get that fixed. But the idea here is that you copy that code, paste it into the web browser, or paste it into Notepad. And I'll show you what it would look like here. I need to look at all my files. So here's all my files. Okay, here's what it looks like when it comes in. So what you're going to want to do, you're going to go down below here, and hopefully you can see what I'm doing. You see I'm cleaning up these lines. The reason I clean them up is so then it's a lot easier to me to see what they do. So you clean up these lines so you can see everything. Then once you have all the lines cleaned up, there at the top and down here at the bottom, once you have the lines cleaned up, then you're going to go in and answer questions. And the questions that you'll answer, questions like this. What is the code that puts the word chartreuse on the page, and what is the hexadecimal code for the color chartreuse? Well, if I go back to viewing that, like this was the document right here. And I'll fix this up for you a little bit. So the way that copied in wasn't accurate, wasn't correct. But right here, so if you fix these lines, you'll see the line that puts the word chartreuse in. And then you'll be able to see the code for the color chartreuse. But I'll give you a different version of this because when this copied in, it didn't copy in very well. I'll give you the correct version. But you'll see what I mean. You want to straighten out the lines so you can see the coding, and you'll see the sample lines like this. So then you just copy and paste that information in here. So what is the coding that puts the word forest on the page? What is the coding that puts the word jade on the page, etc.? So you look at the coding within the page source to answer all of these questions. Okay, so that's the HTML code identification assignment that I've added into this unit. And you'll turn that into the Dropbox just as text. Back to where we were. Okay, so now we're here at part F. This is a little bit more about tables, and you're welcome to, you can copy and paste this into Notepad, then save it as a file, then view it in a web browser. And remember, when you save it as a file, you need to save it as .html, so then you can view it as a web page. But see what this table does. You can see it's going to create a table like this that has borders and such. So do that and then analyze what all the different pieces do. So here's the border, the table border. That means 2 pixels, so that's the thickness of that table border. Analyze it, see what that stuff does. So those are table commands, table borders and such. More about tables, where you can make different size cells and things like that. So all of this coding up here, again, you can copy and paste that into a notepad, save it as an HTML file, then view it. All of that coding ends up creating this type of a table. So you can see all the different things you can do with tables and how you can make web pages look really nice by arranging tables. Now the last thing we have here is an assignment, and again we're going to skip this assignment, table formatting, and we'll save this for NVU because I don't like the way that they have the directions right here. It's kind of confusing, so we'll skip that. So that's the end of that section. And now we're moving on to section 5. Let's go look at the Class Connect write-up. And in section 5, what are 2 good websites to make, you can use to make your own graphics? Yeah, in this section 5, it talks about using, like, creating your own buttons and banners and graphics and things like that. You can see a couple samples of them here. Kind of neat, aren't they? Two of the really good websites. One is called cooltext.com and one is called flamingtext.com. So you're welcome to experiment with those, see what you can do with them. You can make some really nice graphics that you can use not only for your web pages but for other documents you might want to do. And this has some instructions for you to go do some work, but we're not going to worry about doing this in this class. And there's a video to see how you could make your own title. So the website title assignment, don't worry about this assignment. We're skipping that for now. We'll do it in NVU. Let's go back to the Class Connect write-up. Okay, two good websites, we looked at that. What are the two tags used to make a graphic that is clickable link? Okay, we learned earlier, remember that this coding right here, what would this do? This would take an image that's called photo.gif in an images folder. It would make it 23 pixels wide, 34 pixels high, with no border on it. So that would just put a picture on the screen. Then to make that picture clickable, we say where we want the picture to go when you click on it at the beginning, and then this closes off the clickage, the clickableness of that. So this would be the whole command to make a clickable picture that's called photo.gif on a screen, on a web page. So that's how you would do that. But we're not going to worry about that for now. We're going to do more of the image stuff, the clickable images, when we get into NVU. But you're welcome to do this if you want to. Okay, discussion. As you know, we're not doing the discussions in the class, but I'm including the discussions in the Class Connect write-up. So look at that shortly. And then the final assignment, portfolio setup, we're not doing that in this unit either. So the last thing we have for this unit is part of the Class Connect write-up question, and it's right here, these last two things. Find a website you think is well designed, describe why you feel that way, make sure you give me the URL so I can go look at it. And you can just do, of course you're going to copy and paste all of this into the text box of the Dropbox, right? Submit as text in the Dropbox. And then on this one, find a website you think is badly designed, describe why you feel that way, and make sure to include the URL. So do a little search on the web, find some good and bad websites. Badly designed website, you might find like a school website or something, or a gamer's website, something like that, who knows. But do your best to search and find some websites, make sure you give me the URL. So that's all the Class Connect write-up questions. We answered all of those. And of course you always submit as text in the Dropbox, not as an attached file. I don't think I need to tell you that anymore. And that's all the work for week 4. We have only 4 weeks left. Of course, week 5, the next week is vacation, and week 5 is at the end of November. So we covered all the week 4 work. And this says there's a quiz at the end of that section. Yeah, the unit quiz, and I'll get the quiz preview and I'll get that posted, or I don't have that posted right now. Just a reminder, those helpful files and links, there they are ready for you to use. So that's all I have for you. Thanks for watching this.